whispering very slow. Let us begin by pausing. Right now, wherever you are, allow your body to simply arrive. Release the tension in your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Feel the weight of your body pressing against the earth, supported and held. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to fix anything in this very moment. Just breathe in and breathe out. In our modern world, we often find ourselves running. We run from our responsibilities, but more than that, we run from ourselves. Think about the small habits of your day. The moments you pick up your phone to scroll mindlessly through endless feeds. The nights you turn on the television, not to watch, but to drown out the heavy silence of an empty room. The times you reach for food, not because your body is hungry, but because your heart feels hollow. These are not just habits. These are our silent escapes. We are a generation of hidden wanderers, constantly seeking distractions to avoid the discomfort of our own inner storms. We fear the quiet because the quiet forces us to face our anxiety, our loneliness, and our deepest wounds. But you must know, you are not alone in this struggle. Thousands of years ago, under the same sky, great sages and philosophers faced the very same human condition. Consider the Buddha. Before he attained enlightenment, he was a man who witnessed sickness, old age, and death. He felt the sharp sting of existential dread. He did not achieve peace by escaping reality, but by diving deeply into it. The ancient teachings tell us that suffering is not a personal failure. It is a shared human experience. When you suffer, you are connected to the collective heart of humanity. To understand how we handle this suffering, let us look at the ancient teaching of the two arrows. Imagine you are walking through a forest and suddenly you are struck by an arrow. The first arrow represents the unavoidable hardships of life, a sudden loss, a physical illness, or an unexpected change. This causes initial pain, which is natural. However, many of us do not stop there. In our panic and resistance, we take a second arrow and shoot it directly into the same wound. This second arrow is our mind's reaction. It is the endless questioning, the blame, the anxiety, and the story we build around our pain, whispering that things should not be this way. The first arrow causes physical pain, but the second arrow causes the true psychological suffering. By recognizing this, we realize that while we cannot always stop the first arrow, we hold the power to drop the second one entirely. Warm, compassionate, steady rhythm. Now let us shift our gaze. Instead of fighting the wind, instead of wrestling with the storm inside your mind, we must learn a new way to relate to our pain. We have been taught to run away from what hurts. We have been conditioned to suppress, to destroy, or to ignore our anxiety. But true healing does not come from eradication. It comes from radical acceptance. In the great treasury of Zen, there is a timeless truth that speaks of the lotus flower. The lotus is beautiful, pure, and radiant. But the lotus cannot grow on marble. It cannot bloom on a clean, sterile table. The lotus can only grow in the mud. Without the thick, dark, heavy mud, there can be no flower. Our suffering, our anxiety, and our deepest fears are the mud of our lives. They are not mistakes. They are the very soil from which your awakening must bloom. When you try to reject your pain, you are trying to destroy the very ground that can transform you. The mud provides the nutrients. The confusion provides the contrast. The darkness makes the light discernible. Imagine your mind as the vast, infinite sky. And your emotions, the anxiety, the fear, the anger, are nothing but weather. Sometimes there are heavy gray clouds. Sometimes there is a violent thunderstorm tearing through the horizon. But no matter how fierce the storm is, it can never hurt the sky. The sky simply allows the storm to pass through. The sky does not identify with the thunder. The sky remains rộng but dong and pure. You are not your anxiety. You are the sky holding the anxiety. When a wave of panic rises, do not try to push it away. Instead, bring your awareness to it with absolute gentleness. Treat your suffering the way a mother treats her crying child. When a baby cries, the mother does not get angry. She does not lecture the infant. She does not throw the baby away. She walks over, she kneels down, and she gathers the child into her arms with total tenderness. She whispers to the child, "I am here for you. I know you are hurting. We are safe now." Extra long, you must become the mother to your own hurting heart. Breathing in, I recognize the knot of anxiety inside my chest. Breathing out, I smile to it, and I hold it with love. There is no need to fight. There is only a need to embrace. By wrapping your awareness around the pain, the mud slowly, quietly begins its sacred alchemy into the flower of peace. Narrative, deep, slow-paced. Let us now widen our circle. Let us step outside the small, confining walls of our personal suffering and look at the world around us. Our anxiety is rarely just about ourselves. It bleeds into our relationships. It shapes how we see those who have wronged us, those who have abandoned us, and those who have left deep scars upon our souls. When we are trapped in our own wounds, we see our hurts as an isolated injustice. We look at the person who caused us pain, and we see only a villain, a monster of coldness and cruelty. But the eye of true mindfulness sees much deeper. Think of a person who has deeply hurt you. Look at them closely, not with the eyes of anger, but with the eyes of understanding. Why did they strike out? Why did they speak those sharp, poisonous words? The truth is simple, yet profoundly heartbreaking. A person who makes you suffer is a person who is suffering deeply within themselves. They are carrying an uncontained fire. They are burning from their own anxiety, their own unhealed traumas, and their own desperate feelings of inadequacy. Because they do not know how to handle their own inner flames, the pain overflows. It spills out onto you. When they hurt you, it is not a sign of their power. It is a cry of their deep, unconscious agony. In the ancient Buddhist traditions, there is a story of a young monk meditating in a small boat on a misty, quiet lake. He sits with his eyes closed, breathing deeply, enjoying the perfect stillness of the early morning. Suddenly, another boat bumps hard against his own. The young monk feels anger welling up in his chest. He opens his eyes, ready to scream at the careless boatman who dared to disturb his peace. But when he looks, he sees that the other boat is completely empty. It had simply broken loose from its shore and drifted across the water with the wind. In that instant, the monk's anger evaporates. There is no one to blame. There is no enemy to fight. There is only the wind, the water, and an empty boat. Most people who hurt you are empty boats. They are drifting blindly, tossed around by the winds of their karma, their conditioning, and their confusion. They did not plot to destroy your peace. They simply do not know how to steer their own ship. When you understand this, the nature of forgiveness changes. Forgiveness is not an act of charity. It is not an announcement that what they did was right. It is not an act of weakness. Forgiveness is the supreme act of cutting the rope that binds you to that empty boat. As long as you hold on to your hatred, as long as you demand that they change or that they apologize before you can be at peace, you are letting them hold the keys to your freedom. You are choosing to carry their toxic fire inside your own house. By forgiving, you untie the knot. You set yourself free. You look at the wound, You look at the person who caused it, and you say to your own heart, I will no longer allow the past to dictate my present peace. Low pitch. Let us now sink even deeper. Listen to the stillness that resides between my words. Listen to the quiet hum of the room around you. Listen to the soft, rhythmic rise and fall of your own chest. We live in a world that is constantly talking, yet no one is truly listening. We listen to respond. We listen to debate. We listen to judge, to analyze, and to find instant solutions. But true healing demands a different kind of listening. It demands deep listening, the sacred art of listening with your entire presence, without any agenda, without any defense. To practice deep listening, you must first turn your attention inward and listen to your own weeping heart. Inside you, there is a voice that has been ignored for a very long time. It is the voice of your anxiety. It is the voice of your childhood fear. It is the raw, unpolished truth of your vulnerability. When that anxiety speaks, do not try to argue with it. Do not try to rationalize it away. Simply sit with it, as if you are sitting with an old friend who has traveled a long, weary distance just to tell you their story. Say to yourself, I am listening. Tell me where it hurts. As you master the art of listening to yourself, your ears will open to a deeper layer of reality. You will begin to hear the silent, ancestral wounds that live inside your bloodline. Much of the anxiety and depression we carry today is not entirely our own. It is a heavy inheritance. It is the unexpressed grief of your mother. It is the unspoken fear of your father. It is the survival trauma of your ancestors who endured wars, famines, and unspeakable hardships. They passed down their resilience, but they also passed down their unhealed nervous systems. When you feel an overwhelming wave of panic that seems to have no direct cause, you are listening to the echoes of the past. By holding that pain in the light of mindfulness, you are not just healing yourself, you are listening on behalf of your lineage. You are stopping the transmission of trauma right here, in this very moment. Only when you can listen to your own depths can you truly listen to the person sitting right beside you. When your partner, your child, or your friend comes to you with their anger or grief, remind yourself, your only job is to be a mirror of compassion. You do not need to give advice. You do not need to fix their life. Advice is often just an escape from the discomfort of witnessing pain. Instead, offer them your empty vessel. Listen so deeply that they can feel their suffering being held and dissolved in the vast ocean of your unshakable presence. Supportive, uplifting, reassuring. Let us now step out of the illusion of isolation. When anxiety grips your heart, it does not just bring fear, it brings a heavy, blinding veil of separation. Suffering has a deceptive voice. It whispers into your ear, telling you that you are entirely alone. It tells you that no one understands your pain, that your brokenness is unique, and that you are stranded on an island of your own making. But this is the great lie of the ego. Look closely at your anxiety. The very fear you are feeling right now is the exact same fear beating in the chests of millions of souls across this planet. We are all breathing the same air. We are all navigating the same fragile human existence. You are not an isolated drop of water struggling against the sun. You are the ocean, living through a temporary, turbulent wave. To heal, we must learn the art of seeking refuge. In the ancient tradition, refuge is found in the Sangha, the community of conscious, awakened hearts. When a single instrument is out of tune, it creates discord. But when it places itself inside a grand, harmonious orchestra, its vibration naturally aligns with the greater melody. Our nervous systems are deeply interconnected. When your anxious mind tries to heal itself by thinking more, it only spins deeper into the trap. Instead, you must lean your weary spirit against a stable presence. This refuge can be a community of shared practitioners. It can be the quiet, unmoving presence of an enlightened teacher. Or it can be the ultimate, most ancient community of all, Mother Nature. Go out and stand amongst the trees. Look at how a mountain allows the storms to batter its peaks, yet it never shakes. Look at how a river flows around every jagged rock, never fighting the obstacle, but gracefully surrendering to the pull of the ocean. When your dysregulated nervous system touches the vast, rhythmic peace of the earth, a silent resonance occurs. The trees do not judge you. The sky does not demand that you be strong. By resting in this greater wholeness, your small, frantic self begins to dissolve. You remember that you belong. You remember that you are protected. You are a child of this universe, and the universe has never forgotten you. Airy whispering, fading out peacefully. And now, let us come home to the ultimate sanctuary. The sanctuary of this very breath. Do not try to breathe in any special way. Do not force the air deep into your lungs. Simply observe the natural miracle of being alive. Breathing in, I am aware of the cool air entering my nostrils. Breathing out, I am aware of the warm air leaving my body. In and out. With each inhalation, feel yourself gathering all the scattered fragments of your mind. With each exhalation, feel yourself releasing the heavy burdens of yesterday and the anxieties of tomorrow. Just be here, right now. There is no past to regret. There is no future to fear. There is only the continuous, vibrant presence of the eternal present. Let us now lift our understanding to the highest mountain peak. Let us look at the greatest fear that haunts the human heart. The fear of loss, the fear of endings, the fear of non-existence. Look up at the beautiful white clouds drifting across the blue sky. A cloud looks so real, so solid, so permanent, but soon the conditions change and the cloud disappears from our sight. Has the cloud died? Has it vanished into absolute nothingness? The ancient wisdom whispers, no, a cloud can never die. It is impossible for something to become nothing. When the cloud is no longer a cloud, it has transformed. It has become the gentle rain falling upon the dry earth. It has become the running water in a clear mountain stream. It has become the moist sap rising inside a grand oak tree. And tomorrow, when you boil water for your morning tea and you see the steam rising from your cup, you are looking at the resurrection of the cloud. You too are like that cloud. Your anxiety arises because you think you are a separate, fragile entity that will one day cease to exist. But look deeply into your own form. You are made of stars. You are made of sunlight. You are made of the love, the dreams, and the breath of 1,000 generations before you. Your emotions will arise, stay for a while, and dissolve. Your physical body will change its form. But the essence of who you are, the pure, undying awareness that observes it all, can never be harmed, can never be diminished, and can never die. You are timeless. You are boundless. You are already home. Breathing in, I rest in the timeless. Breathing out, I smile to the universe. May your heart be peaceful. May your mind be still. May you walk with light steps upon this beautiful earth. Peace. Peace. Deep, unshakable peace.